Dumb bitch check. So one time I was in a toxic relationship for 4 years and things finally calmed down, but I didn't trust it for real. So like I went on his Instagram just to check things out. And the first thing I see is his genitals shoved into someone who is not me. And so I click on the profile, and it is a 2-month-long documentation of intercourse, cutesy text messages, and matching outfits with another girl. And as I respect her privacy, I won't show everything, but like if you look right there, those are the scratches she left on his back. And then this is the toilet that I spent 6 hours throwing up on after I found out. And then the next 9 hours I didn't go to sleep and had a personality crisis and dyed my hair blonde, and then all of it broke off. And then it took me 2 years to regain sanity and grow my hair back.
So then he gets mad and he blocks me, which I don't care because that boy sus anyways. 10 minutes later, I get an ad on Snapchat from his ex. She tries popping off on me talking about why are you messaging my man, blah, 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 blah. I was like, sis, he messaged me and I wasn't even engaging in anything. Of course, she didn't believe me, so I sent her the screenshots and then she left me on scene. 3 hours later, she posts on her Snapchat, I love this man, nothing could ever get between our relationship. Anyways.
Tell me about a time you found out you were the side chick.
Is my movie moment. I can't even tell this without laughing because of how stupid the situation sounds. Like, you literally can't make this up. Anyway, okay, this happened when I was in college, so it was years ago, and I was dating this guy at the time. Luckily, it wasn't serious, but I was exclusively seeing him, whatever. And I had a guy best friend in college, so whenever we would finish lessons early, we would go towards the city centre and go and eat or go shopping, whatever. One day we're walking towards the shops and we bump into this girl that he knows. I don't know her, but we stop because he knows her. So we're talking to her. She's one of them girls who's really cool and friendly. She's just talking to me and she comes shopping with us. So then she asks me, am I seeing my guy best friend? And I'm like, oh, no, he's just a friend, but I am dating someone else. And she's like, oh, I'm just about to go meet my boyfriend. Do you want to come with us? So I'm like, yeah, we're meeting outside this shop or whatever. So we're like, yeah, we'll come. Fast forward, we go outside the shop to go meet her boyfriend, and I'm like, oh, there's my guy. I see him like randomly, but he lives in the area, so it's not that weird to see him. Anyway, then she goes over, puts her arms around him, kisses him. That's her boyfriend. That's her boyfriend. Okay, you guys have been waiting for part 2 of when I found out I was the side chick, so here it is. The next part of the story probably isn't going to be that satisfying for you guys, but I promise you the end is worth the wait. So she puts her arms around him, kisses him, and then he looks up and sees me, probably with my jaw on the floor out of shock. He goes, hi. And he looks like he's just seen a ghost, but obviously he's trying to pass off the hi as if he might know me, but it's not deep, or he doesn't know me. But because she doesn't know anything's wrong, she was like, okay, come on guys, let's go to the restaurant because we were all going to go and eat together. And then obviously I couldn't do that. So I was like, what do I do? So I was like, I've got to go. I need to go. And then my guy best friend was like, I'll come with you. So he walked me to the station. I'm walking with him and I'm like, that's him, that's him, that's him. And he's like, who? And I'm like, the guy I'm dating, that's him. Some of you are probably thinking, why didn't I just say it to her there and then? And if I was more serious with him at the time, I probably would have. But when this happened, I was just in shock. I wanted to get out of the situation. It was way too awkward. There's just no way I could have blurted out and said that in front of everyone. I'll do part 3 for when I ended up meeting her again. Part 3 of when I found out I was the side chick, and this is where it gets interesting again. I spoke to my friends about the situation and I was like hyperventilating talking to them. I felt like I was going to have some sort of breakdown. Like, it's all fun and games laughing at it now, but at the time I genuinely was in shock about it. I really liked him and wanted it to go somewhere, but because we weren't serious yet, I kind of just wanted to delete myself from the situation and get all the drama away and just never speak to him again. I didn't want to just find her on Facebook and message her like, oh, we're seeing the same guy, by the way. And also a lot of these situations with side chicks and girlfriends, the girlfriend is in denial. So even though she gets told by the side chick or by whoever else that her guy is cheating on her, they just continue to stay with the guy. I know that's not always the case, but this was years ago. I was a lot younger and I was just kind of thinking I don't want anything to do with the drama. Anyway, I said to my friend, if I ever see her again in person, I will tell her to her face because I'm not going to lie to her. 2 weeks later, I got offered a job and I go into my first shift and they say, oh, you're going to be working with one other girl. They take me to the back to meet the other girl and I just hear, oh, hey, babe. Okay, here's part 4. Also, ignore the peacock on my face. I am aware it's there. I was now stuck with a dilemma because this is the place that she works. One of us is already going to feel awkward. I didn't want it to be where both of us do when she is the one who's going to teach me the roles of the job. I'm basically the intruder going into her place of work, and I knew that if I told her about the situation then, she'd want to speak to her boyfriend first before she discussed everything with everyone, and we were about to start our shift in 10 minutes. So I made the decision not to tell her just so we could get through the shift without her feeling upset or awkward or whatever and not want to teach me the roles because of this situation, which I would understand if that was the case. Basically, the only reason why I thought that this was half okay is because I cut things off with him the day that I saw them two together and I had no contact with him. He tried to call me and message me, but I didn't respond to anything. I do think it would be crappy of me if I had kept seeing him and then made friends with her. I had to make a quick decision there and then, and for the sake of the shift and also her feeling awkward in her own work, I didn't tell her. I'll do part 5 for when I did tell her. Part 5 of the side chick story time. Like I said, I'd cut all contact with him the day that I saw them two together, but I actually bumped into him on a night out one time and he came over to apologise to me and tried to say that when I was away for 2 weeks on holiday, that's when he'd met her, so that's why the timeline was blurred. But he didn't realise that when me and her were walking around the shops together, she was telling me all about her boyfriend and how long she's been with him. I just didn't realise it was the same guy. So that was a lie because they'd been together way longer than that. I just deleted myself from the situation. I didn't want anything to do with the drama. And I think that it would have been different if I'd slept with him or if we were more serious. But because we hadn't done that yet, even though we were exclusively dating, so I thought, because that hadn't happened yet, it was where I felt like it's best to just take myself out of the situation first and then work on telling her. I made it a thing to not engage with conversations with her that were about him because obviously I can't be giving her boyfriend advice when I've previously dated her boyfriend. My intention wasn't to become friends with her because I knew it was an unfair situation on her, but the more we worked together, the more I realised she was a lovely person, and if I was going to be friends with her, I needed to tell her, so I sat her down one time to tell her. I'll try and tie everything up in part 6. Part 6 of the side chick story time. I sat down with her and just came out and said everything. The day that we first met, I realised that we were dating the same guy, and I never said anything at the time because I was in shock and didn't know how to deal with the situation. I told her I cut all contact with him that day and she was upset that I didn't tell her earlier. That was expected and that was bad on my part. But she then went on to say that she was actually suspicious of him cheating at the moment with this girl that she'd seen on his phone. I tried to be there for her and make sure that she was okay. I gave her my phone so she could see the messages between me and him and see that we hadn't spoken recently as well. And I feel like you guys are going to really hate the ending of this story. We started hanging out loads and became really good friends, but the reason why things came between our friendship was because she decided to stay with him, which meant that every time we were out, if he ever came to meet us, that was an awkward situation, and I could tell that she felt it was awkward and I felt it was awkward. I think she knew that nothing would ever happen between me and him because I would never go there, but it's just because there was a history there and it probably made her feel weird. Anyway, if they're still together, I hope they're happy even though he's trash.